Hello everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Let's see what royal news we can find out today. The first article comes from Hello, and it was online, dated November the 17th, 2024. Princess Charlotte and Prince George will be separated by heartbreaking royal rule in less than a year. It's long been an unwritten rule that the two heirs shouldn't travel on the same flight, but Prince William and Prince George traveled together to Australia in 2014, Canada in 2016, and Germany and Poland in 2017. William reportedly asked permission from the late Queen for George to accompany him and Kate on their visit to Australia and New Zealand. But the rules are about to change for 11-year-old George in the next year, and he may no longer travel with his parents and younger siblings, Princess Charlotte 9 and Prince Louis 6. Former royal pilot Graham Laurie confirmed on an episode of Hello, a royal broadcast, last year when William turned 12, and he began traveling in a different aircraft to his family. Other significant changes have been made to royal travel, particularly when it comes to security. Graham explains our aircrafts were painted red, white, and blue, but they changed the color scheme in 2002 to look more like a normal airliner. The next story comes from People, and it was online and dated November the 15th, 2024. Denzel Washington says he didn't know the right way to greet King Charles at Gladiator II premiere. Denzel Washington had a memorable encounter with King Charles at the royal film performance of Gladiator II. The monarch made a solo appearance at the Odeon Lux, Leicester Square in London on Wednesday, November 13th, a day before his 76th birthday, as Queen Camilla recovered from a chest infection. During the solo engagement supporting the film and TV charity during its 100th anniversary year, the King met the movie's cast members, including a starstruck Washington, 69. Video footage from the event shows the actor shaking King Charles's hand as he tells him, "I don't know if I was supposed to grab you or not, but it's my pleasure." According to the royal family website, there are no obligatory codes of behavior when meeting the Queen or a member of the royal family, but many people wish to observe the traditional forms. For men, this is a neck bow from the head only, whilst women do a small curtsy. Other people prefer simply to shake hands in the usual way, the website adds. The confusion didn't cause any issues, as Washington, who plays gladiator trader and arms dealer Mancreus, could later be seen smiling as he described his character to the King. "I'm just awful. I'm a lovely man, you'll see. I'm a lovely chap and doing my best," he said. "You've been in so many films, it's fantastic," King Charles was heard telling him in response. So now we have this story that appeared November the 13th, 2024 in People. King Charles reveals what made him cry recently. It reduced me to tears. The night before his 76th birthday, King Charles revealed at Buckingham Palace reception that he was reduced to tears recently, and Queen Camilla is apparently to blame. The King, who celebrated his birthday on November 14th, said on November 13th that he was moved by the Queen's recently released documentary, Her Majesty the Queen, Behind Closed Doors, which debuted on ITV1 on November 11th. At the reception celebrating the film and TV charity alongside Camilla 77, Charles spoke with guests about the 90-minute film, which spotlights the Queen's work, giving voice to domestic violence victims, a key cornerstone of her royal work. In the documentary, Camilla said she will fight to the end domestic abuse until she is able to no more. Speaking with actor Damian Lewis, who also shared that he too had watched the documentary, the King said of the film, per The Telegraph, "It's very moving, isn't it? I think BAFTA, which is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts, are interested in it." The next news comes from People, and that was online and was dated November 12th, 2024. Queen Elizabeth's final diary entry, written just 2 days before her death, contained only 5 words, and this was by Rachel Birchfield. The contents of Queen Elizabeth's final diary have been revealed in the pages of a royal biography. The late Queen wrote in her final entry just 2 days before her death at the age of 96 on September the 8th, 2022. Robert Hartman writes in the updated version of his book, Charles III, New King, New Court, The Inside Story, which came out November 7th. While at her beloved Balmoral on September the 6th, Her late Majesty, who facetiously kept a diary throughout her record-breaking 70-year reign, sat down to, as she always did, record the day's events. It is unsurprising that the monarch was diligent in her documentation, even as illness made her increasingly frail, Tadler reported. The journal entry was simple. Edward came to see me, Hardman wrote, referring to Sir Edward Young, her private secretary, who was helping the Queen make arrangements for the swearing of the newly elected UK Prime Minister Liz Truss ministers. Appointing Truss on September 6 would prove to be the Queen's final public engagement after a lifetime of public service. It transpires that she was still writing it at Balmoral 2 days before her death, Hartman wrote. Per the excerpt at the Telegraph, her last entry was as factual and practical as ever. Queen Elizabeth's diary was not a place for introspection, but rather a log of the events that had transpired throughout her busy days, likely both to help her remember what happened on any given day and possibly to serve as an archive of her day-to-day happenings for historians in the future. I have no time to record conversations, only events, Queen Elizabeth once told Society diarist Kenneth Rose. A former member of the royal household told The Sun in 2019 that the Queen Elizabeth wrote in her diary with a fountain pen using black ink, and that each diary was marked with her cipher and numbered with a Roman numeral. The diaries were leather-bound, and writing in her diary was the last act of the day for the late Queen every night, no matter how late the hour or how weary she may be, the former member of the royal household said. It was unmissable duty, and she writes at a desk, never in bed. Her son and heir, King Charles, also keeps a journal, but he doesn't write great narrative diaries like he used to, a senior courtier told Hartman. Instead, he scribbles down his recollections and reflections at the end of every day. Just over 2 years after her death, King Charles, 75, spoke about his mother's passing at Balmoral, located in Aberdeenshire, Scotland, and long a favorite late summer retreat for the members of the royal family. While addressing the Scottish Parliament on September 30th, the King said, "Speaking from a personal perspective, Scotland has always had a uniquely special place in the hearts of my family and myself. My late mother especially treasured the time spent at Balmoral, and it was there, in the most beloved of places, where she chose to spend her final days." And the last story for this week comes from The Express, and it's dated November 13th, 2024. Prince George's one sweet trait that proves he idolizes one royal family member. And this is by Jasmine Carey and royal reporter Dorothy Redden, and it was published on the 17th of November, 2024. Although the prince is only 11 years old, he is second in line to the throne, and it appears he's picking up on some of his dad, Prince William's traits to prepare him for his royal future. As well as having a loving father and son bond behind closed doors, the prince has recently been seen replicating some of his dad's behaviors in public, showing just how much he looks up to him. These behaviors can be seen on occasions when the pair makes visits, just the two of them, including where they attend significant football matches across Europe. In Robert Jobson's biography, Catherine, Princess of Wales, the royal author said, George, who insists on dressing like his father when he accompanies him, is even beginning to copy William's mannerisms. If he ever appears awkward or overwhelmed, his dad is always close by to put a protective hand on his shoulder. As well as mirroring some of his father's mannerisms in a professional sense, the young prince has also developed Prince William's love for football, with the pair showing the same emotions throughout the games. Last year, Prince William took Prince George to a Premier League match at Villa Park in Birmingham. While watching the team they support, Aston Villa, in the game, the princes could be seen reacting in exactly the same way, including covering their faces at the same time during intense moments. So that was a cute way to end the royal news of the day, and I hope everybody enjoyed the video. And if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, it will help out the channel. Now, I wish everybody a good day, and tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.